media landscape, as you well know, as you've been a part of for much of your life, has changed very much over the past number of years. It's thinned out, the mainstream media has thinned out a lot of publications have gone under, people have been laid off. Do you feel there's still enough, as I would say, mainstream media to check those checks and balances of politicians?
Well, I think there's a premise in your question I don't necessarily buy into, which is that mainstream media is the only vehicle that can provide those checks and balances. I think this interview we're doing right now is a great example of that. You know, Newsload is not a player that would come up when people are talking about your traditional newspapers and TV stations, but you're doing a very valuable service, and I'm happy to be with you. I think that media is changing in Canada, and we can't cling to business models that don't work when consumer interests are changing rapidly. I think that businesses need to adapt. I think some traditional legacy media companies have done a better job at that than others, but I think we also need to make sure that we're not giving someone the monopoly on what it means to play that role of journalist in society. And I think that we have some tremendous independent media voices. I mean, if you want to look at the Ottawa level, Paul Wells is a great example of this. Known for his work in Maclean's, the Toronto Star. Now he is doing a one-man band on Substack. And that's something that would have been inconceivable 10 years ago, but is a viable, profitable, and I think legitimate media operation right now. So I think that we need to I get very nervous when people start talking about mainstream media as being the only vehicle for truth telling.
And I'm glad you mentioned Substack, because a lot of people are getting their news now from websites like that and others, but also from social media as well, which is not always the best place to get your news from.